There's glory in the legends of this hard muscle life, and there's poetry in each season made of sweat and strife. Winds whisper of high hopes. Victory is in the skies. A season awaits with glory in her eye.
Can you feel the tension?
My God. Oh my God.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Can't wait.
I have dreamt of it for a long time, ever since I started when I was 5 years old.
I'm so excited.
Well, let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite yet.
Is one we've been waiting for, and if we do proceed, it will have to be a sustained effort that can produce results.
Come on, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Now we're back.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The Houghton Heroes Fantasy Football League videocast kicks off now. Season 3, Episode 1. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Dan, I am your host, and I will be filling you in with all the information you need for the Houghton Heroes Fantasy Football League season. I will update you with trades, waiver acquisitions, matchups, game recaps, and much, much more. You are in for a fantastic season. Like I said, we are kicking off our third season here in the Houghton Heroes Fantasy Football League. And if you look around us, if this is not your first time viewing, you'll notice that we have a new studio here. Obviously, everyone knows that the results of the Fantasy Football League here of the Houghton Heroes is extremely influential, not only in our small circle up here in Houghton, but also in the world around us. Our sponsor, Sacco Cream, has hooked us up. Here we are currently at the New York Stock Exchange on Wall Street in Manhattan. They have done some research at Sacco Cream and have found that the results of this league actually do influence world markets and trade all over the globe. So they thought, why not put us here to be at the epicenter of everything global so we can get a better feed and a better status on how we are affecting the world around us. And with that, let's dive into the newest Fantasy Football League news. There's been many changes this season. New divisions have been formed, a new draft order has been established, and like I said earlier, the folks at Sacco Cream have given us some cybermetric new data on the league and its history, which I'll be unveiling here and there throughout the upcoming year. But first and foremost, to have a league, you must have a draft. So let's dive into the draft right away. Kavi, the league winner last year, opted to pick third. Now this is very interesting because he has the choice of any draft pick that he would like, and he chooses third. Following that, the runner-up, Steve, chose to pick first. Holly, following up, chose to pick third, and I stuck with fourth. This will be interesting. I see some mixing up here of the first 4 draft picks. I don't think it's going to go by the books whatsoever. The next and probably biggest surprise to hit the draft this year was 5th place Andrew Benda choosing to pick 8th. Now this is very interesting because that means he is clumping his draft picks together in the beginning and end of a certain round, so he's going to have a lot of gap to make up there with his picks, which is very interesting because he could pick in the middle and have what some people might say the easiest draft, having the fewest amount of picks in between his draft picks. Following up is Kyle in 5th, Simon in 6th, Drew in 7th. Carl had the choice of picking 9th or 10th. He chooses 10th, and the Sacco, Jake, is left to pick 9th. This is very interesting, seeing as how the divisions broke up this year, and after much debate, there was a consensus among the commissioners that we should, in fact, change the divisions, and that's what we ended up doing, although not much change happened. As you can see right here over my shoulder, this is the new division alignments. Not much has changed. You'll notice that the only switching that we'd had was Kyle and Holly switching divisions. Now this makes what I believe the East Division extremely hard right now. It'll be really tough to get out of those divisions, and Holly joins the weakest division in football, which we established last year. Probably good for her. Her path to the playoffs is a lot easier. And since we have the new divisions, let's make some predictions for the upcoming season. Now with these new divisions, another rule change came into play this year. We are adding an extra playoff spot. So now not only 2 teams make the playoffs from each division, or 4 teams total, a total of 6 teams now make the playoffs. So now you must be out of the worst 40th percentile in the group just to make the playoffs. In past, it has came to play that all you have to do is get to 50% in the league and then you can make the playoffs. This might happen this year with how the leagues are shaping up. But out of the East, I see Kavi finishing first, Drew finishing second, and Steve finishing third. In the West, I see myself coming out on top again for the 2nd year in a row. Holly, the newcomer, I see her finishing second, and then Jake, the surprising. I believe he will make the playoffs out of the West. And now let's look at how potential playoff matchups might look. We have the 2nd place Holly Carroll coming out of the West playing the 3rd place Steve, and I actually believe that Steve is going to triumph over Holly in the 2nd matchup of the season. Holly might get the better of them in the regular season, but Steve triumphs in the playoffs. Drew is going to play Jake, and I think Drew knocks Sacco out. He goes one and done in his playoff career. In the matchups in the divisional round, I believe the way it'll set up is Kavi will face off against league mate Drew, and I will face Steve. I think Kavi will take care of Drew pretty handedly after his first appearance in the playoffs with a win. And I believe that I will vanquish Steve in a rematch of last year's first round playoff match, pitting myself against league champion Kavi in the Houghton Heroes Championship. I believe that Kavi will come out victorious on the league once more, working his way into Dynasty territory, but that will play out in 2015. But now that we have my predictions for the season, let's go into the top 5 storylines that I see affecting this league as we go into the new year. With number 5, teams opening 3-0 in their seasons. Can they continue? The only 3 teams in league history to open the season 3-0 are Kavi, Holly, and a very surprising Sacco Jake. With the way the divisions are aligning this year, I'm not sure what the first round matchups are, but it'll be interesting to see if these 3 teams can remain undefeated in the opening game of the year. Number 4 storyline is the Sacco punishment. No one has made Jake do anything, nor has Jake done anything to fulfill his Sacco duties. It'll be interesting to see what kind of punishments or what kind of sanctions are laid out for him during the year for not completing his tasks. So we'll see how that goes along. We'll be updating you on all of the Sacco rules and punishments throughout the season. Storyline number 3. Kyle, outside of 2012, his undefeated year, is an under 500 team. Kyle is 14-16 outside of his undefeated season. That's below 500, like I said before. Everyone sees him as a force in the league, but if we look at his previous records outside of one maybe outlier year, he's just average, run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-pack team. We'll see how he fits into his new division, and we'll see if he can return back to form that he saw in 2013. The number 2 storyline, will Mr. Andrew Blake be able to win in his first 4 games of the season? In all previous 3 seasons, he has lost his first 4 games, and this has obviously, as we all have seen, spelled doom for his playoff hopes at the end of the year. We'll see if he can reverse his fortunes and win 1 game at least in the first 4 games, which he is 0-12 in his career. In this new division with Kyle in there, I don't know if I see it happening, but he's coming in confident, already talking smack, so let's see if he can reverse his fortunes. And the number 1 storyline this year of the Houghton Heroes Fantasy Football League season is with the new addition of the playoff spots. Who is going to get into the playoffs? I already discussed my playoff matchups. You can formulate yours. It'll be an interesting year. Everyone now knowing that they only have to finish third to get in the playoffs. We'll see what kind of moves and trades people make just to open up those spots. And that wraps up the video cast for the preseason special, the draft special here. Want to thank the sponsors at Sacco Cream again for hooking us up with this great studio. It's fun being in New York once a week. Got to catch my flight soon to go back to Houghton. And everyone remember, the draft is Monday night, September 1st. No auto drafting allowed. Andrew Benda, glad to see he can make it this year again. And we look forward to seeing you all on Monday, and another video should be following.